Neri, set course for planet Z4356.
Affirmative. Scanning life forms of the terrestrial planet third from the G-type main sequence star. There appears to be erratic activity in Sector 665 that is inconsistent with the rest of its carbon-based inhabitants. These creatures appear to be strange, chaotic, and overly aroused.
Wow.
These readings, unlike anything we have encountered, indicate a more savage but evolved variant of the species.
Weird. Neri, what was the response to first contact with these beings?
Thuggalo. Thuggalo. Thuggalo.
Hey, yo, where my Thuggalos at? Where my Juggalos at? But most importantly tonight, where my rejects at? That's right, tonight on the Thuggalo show, all you rejects pulled up tonight for one reason. And that reason is Raven Black. Instead, let's waste no time and bring Raven Black to the Thuggalo show.
Oh, whoa.
What up, everybody? What's up? What
Hell yeah, Raven Black, welcome to the Thuggalo show. It's a monumental occasion to have you on this show because a lot of people fuck with you in this community. So how are you doing tonight? Like, what's up?
I'm doing great. I had a rough night yesterday, but it's all good today. It's all good today, and it's good because I'm on the Thuggalo show. And the rejects, you guys better be on here. You know,
I see a couple of them in chat. I think the rejects.
I'll haunt you in your dreams tonight if you're not on here.
Hey, I believe that. I do not think you're fronting when you say that. Raven, let me ask you this first, off rip. What is the rejects? What is a reject?
So the rejects is the name that they've chosen for themselves as our fan club for Raven Black. So it all started with just some conversations with some of the fans, and they're going, "You need to build a fan club. You need to build a fan club." And next thing you know, I'm like, I wouldn't even know what to call it. You know, I don't even know where to start with that. And they said, "Well, do you have songs that you put, like, you throw away?" And I said, no. Nothing's ever thrown away. It's just put on the shelf. But there's actually, we call them Raven's Rejects because they're just rejected for that particular album, you know, for that instance. So they said, that's a great name. That's a great name. We want to be called the Rejects. So I said, okay. And Rejects, it's like, there's so much similarity to Juggalos as far as family, that brotherhood, sisterhood. So our motto, and I wrote a song called We Are the Rejects. It's if you come across a reject, Surgeon General's warning says if you come across a reject, you'll experience brotherhood, kindness, and fun. Moshing, screaming, raging, you know. So that's our motto, and we have a song, and you know, they're beyond me. So if I quit the band today and there was just Raven Black was no more, the Rejects would thrive on. Like, they're their own thing, you know. They're the freaking rock stars, you know. They tell me what's up.
That's very interesting because you made the parallel to Rejects and Juggalos. ICP did not come up with the term Juggalos, like Raven Black did not come up with the term Rejects. But would you define yourself as a reject?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
So yeah, so if you think about the word reject, you know, it's all the misfits, it's all the outcasts, it's the people who don't fit whatever people consider the norm. You know, we're weird, we're pierced, we're tatted, you know, whatever it is, we dress different, we're unique, we don't give a fuck. We do us, we do ourselves, we're just who we are, and we're proud of it. And to come together with a group of people who accept you for exactly who you are, that's what it's about. And that's why I was first drawn to ICP and the Juggalos anyway. You know, I was like, well, I'm a juggalette, and I loved, and there's a passion that I have for both hip hop and metal. So I grew up in LA, so obviously hip hop was a huge influence for me, but so was metal and rock music and punk, the punk scene. And again, all those crossovers. Punk metal has always been against the grain. Hip hop's always kind of been against the grain.
Right.
So it's kind of been my whole existence of these worlds in music and art and just people that didn't go with the normal mainstream shit. And were like, fuck it, I'm going to do what I'm going to do and be myself. So to have a group of fans, you know, gravitate to our music and our style, and what we're about and our concept, you know, they understood that I wasn't going to be mainstream. I never wanted to be. I never will be. I'm always going to be underground. You know, like, I don't want to be Metallica. I don't want to be Pretty Reckless. I don't want to be that. I never did. So for people in the industry to go, oh shit, Raven Black's coming up. They're doing big tours. You're building a fan. They wanted to like take a piece of me, right? I'm like, look, I don't need a pimp. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's how I said, you just want to pimp me out. I said, no. I'm not for you. Like, I'm not, what I create is not going to ever be mainstream, ever. So I don't even know why you're trying to like change that about me, because it's never going to happen. It never happened in my life, you know, as a person. It's not going to happen in my music.
Did you find yourself in a position where maybe record labels were trying to put you in a box? Is that what this is?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And that's, and you know, when you're a DIY artist coming up nowadays, it's a struggle, you know, it's, and with social media and, you know, technology, it's like everything's out of pocket, everything's on your own. Right. So having that label kind of, you know, kind of wave that carrot
get
around.
That money in front of you. And be
but
like, hey.
You know what I said? Because they said, you know what, I have to tell you, and I want to really make this clarification for people, okay? Because when I say, they said, you're not, quote unquote, you're not using your pussy power.
Oh
wow.
So I wrote a lyric in one of my upcoming songs that says, my power ain't only in my pussy, motherfucker. So that's one of the new lyrics. And I've never written lyrics like that, or I've never shared lyrics like that with people. But it's time now, because I got, you know, you want to succeed and you need the label's help. So as you're coming up as a band, you know, they're like, God, you know, you have so much potential to be mainstream and you can sing and all that. Like, you got the whole package. You just got to clean it up. And I was like, for what? To make you fucking money? No, fuck you. I'd rather be signed with like Psychopathic or something where they just go, dude, you're already we already love you the way you are. Let's just take it to the next level. Right. And yeah, you want a piece of me? Fuck yeah. Psychopathic can have a piece of me, because you're not trying to change me. You know what I mean? And it all comes back to the family anyway. So that's how I am. I'm one of those people, like, I don't care about sharing profits. I don't care about money. It's never been about the fucking money or the fame. It's more about the experience, the journey. You know, like, when I die, you know, one day I'm going to die, and that's my legacy, right? That's what I left behind.
Oh, yeah.
The people, the fucking memories, the shit, the art, the music. So money comes and goes. You know, like, if I always said, if I'm going to sell out, I said, first of all, I'm a metal band. There's not enough money, and those days are done. You know, the days of getting $1 million contract from a record label are gone. You know, those days are gone. Absolutely. So if you're trying to buy me and my masters and my music and try to control me, because, you know, like in anything in life, somebody gives you $1, they fucking feel like you owe them something. Mm-hmm. So, you know,
because they feel like they put you on when
they
it was
are
your
invested
talent.
in
right.
Correct. And
Right.
so once they invest in you, they're like, look, we gave you so much money and now we know what sells. We know what sells. We know what billboards. We know what all this shit. So we're going to tweak your look and your this and that and make you this so we can make money. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to sell out, first of all, it ain't going to be to you guys. And if I wanted to fucking sell my pussy, I would do porn and make a shitload more money. Okay, then, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Like,
a few weeks ago, we had Face Tap Mommy on here. She's going to be playing at the gathering.
I watched that. I
Yeah,
watched that. I love her.
She's an active porn star that is saying she wants to step away from porn, but she embraces that she comes from that world. She doesn't try to hide it. She doesn't try to...
No, and she shouldn't. But that's...
Right.
See, this is the thing. People understand I am always covered up, right? My little dresses on my shit, my costumes, I'm always covered up. And I tell people it's because I wanted people to focus on the music and the art and the concept of the album and what we're about, rather than my tits and my ass. Yeah, I have tits and ass, but you know what? From so many when I was younger, you know, I got a lot of that attention already. You know what I mean? Like people don't realize I'm fucking 52 years old. I've done the TNA. Well, so like, I've done the TNA. You know, I've done that. I got that kind of attention. But that's not what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking to do something more meaningful, more you know, a little deeper for myself.
Motherfuckers to pay attention to the music, not
yes,
ass and titties.
Exactly, because I mean, come on, and I'm bisexual, so it's like if I see a nice fucking set of tits in front of my face, it is gonna distract me from the fucking song. It is.
Same.
I mean, you know, shit. So what I do is I want everybody to focus on my fucking facial expressions and the message I'm saying in my lyrics. When I'm screaming something or I'm performing and I'm connecting with them through my eyes, you know, my energy. So my tits and my ass would be a distraction. Now, what I wanted to clarify today was people misunderstand that. I'm not anti-tits and ass. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all for it. You know, girls that use that and do that, that's great for them. They're comfortable with that shit. I'm comfortable with it too. I might show tits and ass one day when I feel like it. Not to sell my music, though. You see what I mean? Like, it's a choice.
Yeah. I think when people attend a Raven Black show, they're not thinking about the TNA. They're not thinking about, like, oh, I hope her tits pop out on stage.
Yeah, and one day when I show my tits, they'll be like, damn, she got tits. You know,
and
like,
she can sing like that.
But I want there, you know, I mean, I have these visuals for music videos and different concepts, but I'm probably going to do a photograph one of these days, a photo shoot where basically I already have the idea of like not for sale across my tits and my pussy.
Gas.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? But then like, you know what I mean? And just pose like that. This isn't what's for sale. My music and my art and, you know, is what's for sale, you know, not me. And if I wanted to sell myself, shit, you can't afford it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like, it's priceless, you know, like that. But I'm not saying that, like I have a ton of friends that are sex workers, they're in the porn industry, they fucking are models, and they sell sex. I mean, and they're beautiful, and they've got it going on, and I'm proud of them. And I don't judge them, you know what I mean? They don't judge me, I don't judge them. They're doing them, you know, I always say, you do you, go get it.
Make your bed.
But I'm not comfortable with that. I'm just not comfortable with it anymore. Shit, plus I'm 52. I've done enough of that.
Hey, a lot of people in the
need you
chat,
to quit lying.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat, they think you're making that up. They're thinking you're
I'm not.
younger.
I'm fucking 52. I turned 53 in September. I can't even fucking believe it.
Well,
I think I'm a vampire. I think a vampire bit me at one point.
I think that's true. Let me ask you this: you're 52 years of age. I want to ask you, like, the way sex work is represented in 2023 it's not even an issue anymore. It's very normalized. No. So you definitely seen that change in just society, right?
Correct. And like I said, my friends are on Instagram. They're on OnlyFans. They're making fucking money, and they're doing it on their own terms, though, which is what I love most about it.
Right.
You know, and believe it or not, as a starving musician, man, sometimes I'm like, how much can I get for my dirty underwear? You know, like I ask my friends, and I'm like, what?
Said, hold up.
And they're like, they're like, no, you can get like $5 to $10 grand for just one pair. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. And they're like, yeah. I'm all, well, no, I'll just take pictures on my feet. Is that cool? You know, I'll step in some shit. Is that okay? And they're, you know,
that's extra money.
I know that's extra money. And so I said, you know, they go, well, but, and believe me, I've contemplated it because I'm like, you know, that's an interesting, weird little niche that, I'd be interested in knowing more about. But they said, well, once you open that door, you can't close
There's
it.
no closing that Pandora's box.
That's
So
true.
I was like,
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like a lot of women these days, if they open that Pandora's box, they're not like thinking about the repercussion like they would have 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
well, I think it's more like what you want people to focus on, right? Like right now, I'm not anti that or anything. I just want people to focus on the music, though, and the show, and the concept albums, because I have something to say still. There's still some poetry in me. So that's something I want them to focus on. Once I feel like I guess whenever I feel like it, that's when I'll do it.
Well, you're going on tour in August, right? The Scream tour. Can you tell us
Yes.
about that?
So we are playing Michigan Metal Fest, and that's a friend of mine, Steve. Those guys, we missed it last year because, my dad had passed away. So this is like the makeup festival. But Born of Osiris is playing, my friend Psychostick, Upon a Burning Body.
Yeah.
So like,
Yes.
it's kind of a little bit, sort of a reunion, kind of. It's a weird thing. But I have so much love, and I have a ton of fans in Michigan because we lived in Michigan for like 5 years. So, so a lot of the rejects are in Michigan and Ohio. So that's like a good spot. So, of course, I said yes. And instead of flying in like I am with the Gathering, it's a lot. It's a lot to do that. So we did a routing tour around it. So that's August is the Scream tour. And I'm bringing out Living Dead Girl and Owls and Aliens.
Yes.
So this year is all about DIYs. I'm only touring with DIY bands this year because I'm trying to make a statement. I'm trying to make a statement to the industry. Like, fuck you.
Right.
I don't need to be on your fucking big ass tours. I need to just play music. You know what I mean? I need to do what
That's
I
real.
love.
That's Thuggalo as
Right.
fuck, I think, actually.
People
And
will
I
appreciate that more too, because like us as a culture, we're more of the fuck corporate society
Mainstream.
anyways, and all of that shit. So the
Yeah.
more DIY, I think the more reception it generally gets.
Correct.
Right. And I would
Well,
say,
I just don't want to be controlled by anybody. That's what it is.
right. Going back to the bands you just listed, I was going to say Psycho Stick. That's a good band to make a statement when just play music with, because I know I've kind of followed them a little bit and everything like that, and they're like the DUI or do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I think they are very much that label.
Correct. Yeah, those guys, they do whatever they want. They did live
Right.
streaming during COVID. They do parodies. They do covers.
Yeah.
I mean, but they just have fun. It's so much fun. And we toured with those guys back in 2018, I think. We had a blast. I mean, it was just so fun, and that's why I want to do music.
Yeah, they
That's
definitely
the whole
seem
reason.
like they would be able to have fun.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Raven
Yeah,
Black.
I can't wait to
let
see
me ask you about Bloody Sunday last year. What was it like performing
Oh, my God.
Bloody Sunday? Tell me about it.
We were so fucking stoked because playing the Gathering obviously is always amazing, right? But then you've got that huge stage, and we were on the main stage, and tons of people, right? Just everywhere. And the thing is that for me personally, the one thing I hate about festivals is that they're like, people are 20 feet away from me. Right. So, of course I jumped down and stuff and went and touched everybody. But for me, it's just, I need to like get in people's faces. That's my favorite thing to do when I perform, or like grab their hair or scream in their face. So that's the one thing I don't like about festivals. But that's why Bloody Sunday was cool, because everybody was just up close and personal. So I can actually, if you ever come see me at a show, don't be surprised if I like lock eyes with you and like fucking draw you in, because that's what I love to do. It's for me, as well as for whoever is having that moment with me. It's these memories,
I know Onstead seen you in 21, but my first time seeing you was at Bloody Sunday last year. And kind of going back to like having that little, it was fresh having something a little bit different than just like, wrap up on stage, especially with it being Bloody Sunday.
Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's nice having that darker rock,
And we're both
vibe
metal
to
fans
it.
ourselves.
Anyways,
Yeah, and you know what?
We
But
love
I'll
that
tell
shit.
you, this sneak peek for the upcoming 4th album that we're going to be releasing the first single this fall. We just finished writing it, It's on demo right now, and I'm about to send it to some people after I tweak it a little bit. But it is a hip hop trap metal song.
Oh shit!
Oh,
So this is the first time I'm going to show people my hip hop side.
Ooh.
And this is what people don't know, because everybody knows me as a metalhead, right? And I am so a fucking metalhead. But I'm 52 years old. I've lived a little bit, right? So from like 6 years old being a dancer, this is my background, right?
Okay.
To like 30, I was a professional dancer and a hip hop dancer. So that's like LA,
Raven
80s,
Black.
90s
Okay.
hip hop. Like the birth of hip hop back in the day.
On the
Damn.
cardboard type shit.
Yes, cardboard.
With,
My
like,
brother and
baggy
I, we used
pants
to
and all
break
that.
dance. We used to pop and lock, and I kind of did it. You've probably seen it when I was doing kind of the doll movements with the umbrella when I came out, and that's a lot to do with popping and locking. Now, metalheads don't see it, but hip hop people do.
Right.
Like, oh,
right.
because I even had guys say to me, as I passed, like, I fucking love that you were locking up there. And I was like, oh my God, you know what the fuck that is, right? So, but that's nothing, because I'm doing it to metal music. Wait till I have the 808 behind that, and I actually get to like feel that groove, and show that movement in how I move on stage. So that is why we're creating these songs, so that I can start to reveal this whole other half of me that no one has seen yet.
Hell yeah. I want to ask you this. I think I read this in an article about you, so I wanted to hear it, from the lion's mouth type shit. Your
What'd you
music. I read that your music was described as being inspired by your life experiences. Can you describe one that sticks out?
My suicide. I was very suicidal for most of my life.
Oh, wow.
Even up to as recent as last year. I suffer depression. I suffer from manic depression. I'm ADD, like ADHD. Just a lot of. I have multiple personality disorder. I was diagnosed as a 5150 officially, clinically in LA when I was a tweaker. I mean, there's some shit. I've been through some shit. So like, a lot of people, in the industry look down at tweakers or people missing teeth and shit like that. And in the juggalo scene, in the family, there's a lot of that, right? And it's still a current struggle for many people. And I've been there, done that. And, people don't know that my albums, like 7 Sins, was me facing my own demons. And it was a progression of me as a person, from innocence to growing up. And then 13, I spent 13 days in rehab getting out of crystal meth. I was diagnosed 5150. I was borderline schizophrenic. So all that shit. And I woke up from that, got better. I was in jail, LA County jail. I was in the real oranges, man, not a fucking costume. Yeah.
Orange
like
is the new Raven Black type shit.
Yeah, but that's like exactly. We're not orange black, but Raven Black. But yeah, so it's just people, and I wrote it in my autobiography. I wrote a book, and I only released 100 copies for those who really gave a shit about my life story. You know what I mean? But I put it out there for me it was really meant to inspire those who think they're too old, too poor, too busy working a day job or whatever. They miss their boat to do what they love in art and music. And I'm like, no, it's never too fucking late. No, it's okay if you're a drug addict. You can still get the fuck out of it. You can still lift yourself out and like do what you love and love yourself and heal. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But that's the big deal about this new album. It's the Black album. So I wrote a white album during my depression last year after my dad died. So I fucking took a year off and just grieved. And I wrote a beautiful ballad album for my dad. I just wrote emotional ballady, just makes you fucking cry shit.
Let out all the emotions.
Yeah, no metal, no screams, no fucking anything, just singing. And there's guitar, there's piano, there's, acoustic shit. But that was the white album, and I called it Raven White.
Wow.
Which is, yeah. So now, in contrast to that emotional dump, that I unloaded.
No, I mean, trauma dump, please. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, I unloaded all my emotions, and I kept myself from fucking attempting suicide again. And then comes like, well, what do they always say? The 5 phases of healing, right? Denial, all the shit, and then you get to the anger, right? well, because I'm a good person and I'm a nice person, and a lot of people can relate to this, especially being female. It's not cool, you know. Females shouldn't fucking lash out. Females shouldn't fucking say fuck you. We shouldn't be so hardcore, you know. We should be more ladylike. All that shit that you were brought up, kind of just embedded in you. But that's why women get taken advantage of. This is why women get raped, and I've been raped. I've been molested. All the shit's in my book. So yeah, so all the albums, those songs are metaphors to like my life story. So yes, in that article, that is for real. All of the songs I write are from my real life, but I guess not fictionalize it, but I make it more poetic and write it in song form lyrics so that other people can grab that emotion and make it their own with whatever situation they're going through.
Raven, I want to let you know that that was beautiful that you allowed yourself to be vulnerable on the Thuggalo show to speak all this. I know you wrote a book and you've said all this publicly, but I lost a parent at the beginning of this year too, so I can relate to what you're going through. It's rough, you know, and I'm not a woman, so I can't speak on like any of the things that women have to deal with. I know it's definitely fucked up that a lot of women have to deal with some shit, but I fuck with you, Raven Black. I want you here. I don't want to live in a world where Raven Black isn't around. You feel me?
Oh, thank you, man.
Real quick,
sure.
before we move on to the next subject, we got to speak on suicide and self-harm like that. If you guys are feeling lonely out there, man, reach out to somebody. I would much rather receive a call at 3 a.m. talking about how you're having a mental breakdown instead of a 3 a.m. call about from a police officer saying some other shit. So if you're feeling depressed, sad, reach out to anybody that's out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And we have, the Rejects actually created a group. We created a group during COVID because everybody was really depressed. We created a group called Rejects Help on Facebook. And
awesome.
every month I controlled it just so that it would go to the right place, but it was for the Rejects only, so it wasn't public. But we had all the Rejects donate whatever they could, whether it was $1, $5, $50, $500, whatever it is. Every month, at the end of that month, I would choose one of the Rejects that kind of reached out into the Rejects helpline to like that they were struggling or they had medical problems or something detrimental that was, or like people weren't able to even like buy food for their kids because they were waiting for the stimulus. Do you remember that? Like people were waiting for unemployment and shit, and like their jobs closed down and they just had we all went through that shit. Yeah. So we created this fund because I said, well, I can't as a person or a band afford to help everybody, but collaboratively, if we come together, we're going to at least come up with $500, $1,000 to help one of our own.
That's beautiful. That
they can get through that 2-week, 3-week waiting period till they got a paycheck or unemployment or whatever. So we did that all year in 2021, and every month we were able to raise $1,000, and a reject received $1,000 cash through Venmo or PayPal. Every month we did that, and the last 2 months of 2021, I think we split it to 2 people, so each person got $500. So we. You know, I wish I had started that earlier because then we could have helped a few more people. Right. But obviously when COVID ended, I had to stop that because it got, you know, we had the people coming in, they're like, I'm not a reject, but can I get money? And it's like, no, this is a reject thing within our own group, you know? And I don't know if the Juggalos ever did anything like that, but the Rejects did this. This is what I'm saying. They do this shit. And I just facilitate, you know, I'm like the middleman that gives them a place to do it.
ICP has ran toy drives and canned food
drives.
That's
true. That's true.
You know, clothing drives.
Right. Toy drives.
I'm sure they have on a bigger scale, you know, and I hope one day
that doesn't minimize what you did though. That does not
that's fucking that's so amazing.
I mean, I looked at it like, you know, this is on a small scale, but you know what? We just changed
it's on a personal level too.
You know, 14 people's lives this year. We helped them get through a tough time, and that's enough to me. That matters, you know.
Right.
That's real shit. Like you said, you changed. Even if you changed just one life, that's one life change. That's one worldview changed permanently or for a long ass time. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Raven, we have been on. It's a bit of a morose ass sad show, so I want to pick the shit back up. But I do respect that you came on and just was telling your story, because I know a lot of Thuggalos in the chat and a lot of the rejects that are here tonight for you relate to that shit. But let's change the mood up a little bit.
All right, let's do it.
What is your favorite flavor of Fago soda pop?
What does I say? I it's the bubblegum one, and I think it's the
Cotton
is it
candy?
the blue one? Cotton candy.
Cotton candy, boy.
Keep calling it bubblegum. I don't know why.
It does have a bubblegum aesthetic to it, so I could see that.
But it's super sweet. It's super sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you ever get any sprayed on you at the 2021 gathering?
Not at 2021, because after our set we were breaking down. So, and then they cleared the back area. So,
Right.
But I was watching on the side stage, so I didn't get sprayed. But
Any fun stories from your gathering experiences?
too many.
Anything that you can say legally without fucking having somebody
Without
You
breaking
always say
NDAs.
allegedly afterwards, though.
No. I mean, it wasn't good. Let's put it that way.
Oh wow! I'm sorry to hear that. I
It
mean,
wasn't good. No, but it was private. It was a private thing that wasn't good.
Okay,
but
all right.
the gathering was amazing, and I mean, for me, it was just the energy of everybody. Oh, and I got to meet Clown Disc, so I was pretty happy.
Hey,
That's our
Yeah.
homie. He's been on
I know, I
here
love
before.
him. I
Yeah,
love him. And the one person I want to meet, just so I'm gonna put it out there, I want to meet Ouija. So
I think that can be done. I think that can be arranged. Like shit,
Yeah.
why not?
I just want to meet him. He's fucking cool and he's weird and I like him.
He is. He's the shit. He's real good guy.
He's weird, but guess what? All of us are weird. All juggalos.
We all are.
That's why we're all in this
But I wanna
community.
meet
dude.
We're
him.
all
like-
weird.
I love what he's doing, and he inspires me, and I look up to him. Put it that way.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. What was your upbringing like, Raven? Like growing up, like
My dad was my best friend. I was always a tomboy. I had an older brother and a younger brother, and so I was in the middle and the only girl. So basically, I was a boy with a froggy voice in a female body. So I'm not trans or anything, but I've been. Everybody goes, dude, you're a dude. Like seriously, like my personality. Well, because I didn't grow up playing with Barbies and shit, and this is the irony that I'm a doll, right? I'm half human, half doll. But literally, I didn't play with dolls. I was outside. That was me. My brothers and I were outside playing all the fucking time. Whether it was fucking worms race, the roly-poly worm races down the fucking cracks of the sidewalk, or spit wads. How long you can throw your spit wads and hold it. Climbing fences, climbing roofs, breaking into the school. We saw an open window, broke into the school, ran around. Just boy shit.
What was the purpose of breaking into the school? That seems pretty.
like
Because we
Still
could,
live
and
right
it was and it was exciting, and we're not supposed to be in there.
So I just
Like,
want to do
literally,
rat
or climbing
stuff
the
with
roof.
my friends.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Did you ever get into like juvenile trouble, Raven Black, where like the cops were fucking with you and shit?
Only once, my friends and I were playing hide and go seek in a big apartment building in LA, and we were running up and down the fucking fire escapes.
Oh.
That's stale.
I think that's
Screaming.
right though. Like kids today, I don't think have those kind of experiences.
No.
I'm being honest. I really
No.
like. I mean,
They
Raven,
do in
you're older-
Fortnite.
They do in Fortnite. Like Raven's older than us, but I feel like even our generation, we got outside and put
Like the
know,
water hose.
Got yelled
I-
at by neighbors all the time.
Right.
Yeah, I did stunts with my brothers from 18.
My mama.
We did stunts on our bikes. Who can eat shit the best, and do the fucking badass
I used to
roll.
get yelled at for coming inside. They used to tell
I
me to
know
stay the
shit,
fuck
right?
outside. The house is
Yeah,
off
Real
limits.
shit. Real shit.
So,
Yeah, but my
It would
upbringing
just
was
be too many,
very.
you know what I mean?
I had a great upbringing. So let me date myself. So Star Wars, 1. Star Wars.
Ooh, 77.
Oh,
Premiere, Hollywood, premiere.
That's pretty
actually
lit.
My brothers and I were in that line for
Damn.
the first premiere of Star Wars.
Was you
in
on the
Dang.
news when they was like going in the line on the news?
Probably,
channel,
but we
like-
were the three of us little rugrats. I think I
Did
was
you
probably
dress
about
up?
6. We had our plastic costumes, yes.
That's
You know,
dope.
Yeah.
with the rubber
Hell yeah.
band, and then they gave us these grab bags with shit in it, and we were like,
Wow.
But yeah.
They was hooking y'all up. That's what's up.
yeah.
I guess it was a Hollywood premiere though, so they
Right.
better have.
Right.
It was awesome, but yeah, pretty much. And then as a preteen, my brother, like, so Breakin' the movie and like Buglu Shrimp and all those guys.
Right.
They're from LA, so my brother used to break dance with them, and then they did the movie, and then he was like famous, and we were like, we thought it was the coolest thing, like we knew him and shit. But yeah, I mean, I was definitely a what they call a b-boy, b-girl.
That's
In the
lit as
80s.
fuck. That's dope as fuck. I want to ask you, what are your musical influences?
Too many. I mean, I listen to shit that's like musical, theater, Broadway shit, all the way to classical rock. I listen to folk. I listen to punk. I listen to metal. I listen to contemporary adult music, things like Josh Groban and Sarah McLachlan and, shit like that.
Hard.
I listen to all kinds of shit. I dance to hip hop. So that's where you'll see me like really I can't stop from moving. Yeah, so it depends on my mood. I listen to a lot of black metal. That somehow soothes me.
When if I were to attend a Raven Black show, what should I expect? Like, what is there to be expected at a Raven Black concert?
The unexpected. But you definitely expect, if you're close enough to me, I will approach you as close as I possibly can without falling off on stage.
I think the crowd actually enjoys that a lot more than anything else. Somebody that commands the fucking attention of the crowd is, and the interaction of the crowd is what I pay money as a fucking I don't know what it would be.
A
But
consumer.
Consumer, yes.
Patron.
Patron, yes.
Because, like, when motherfuckers is just sitting up there with strumming a guitar on a fucking stool, it's like, okay, but, like, it was cool when Kurt Cobain did it, but, like, not everyone can do that.
Like she said, grab my fucking face and, like, demand my fucking attention, man.
Seriously, the Regents will
Right.
tell you, if you're close enough to me, I will grab your hair and pull you in and scream in your face or sing to you or... I mean, in Mexico, we just got back from Mexico. I was literally trying not to fall off the stage and bending over a monitor just to headbang with two guys and like literally head to head where we're like just headbanging. But I'll do that. I'm just all about them. Like, so it's there's no script to it. You know what I mean? I'm performing, but if I catch eye contact with you or you're doing something, if you're headbanging or doing like I come to you and we're gonna have a moment, whatever that is gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Crowd interaction is definitely.
So that's what you can definitely expect. If you're up front and you're like going like that, I will walk up to him and be like, I will do it right back at you. Another guy hit me. He was hitting me with his baseball cap. He was so into it. He was hitting his hat against my boots and on stage, and I just I kneeled down and I grabbed his hat from him and I started hitting him on his head and his fucking shoulders with it. And it was a moment we had,
But that dude is telling that story
right
to this day.
Right.
It's just like, I was thinking like last year at the gathering with Mushroom Head, that crowd interaction is just, it makes for great stories. Like the singer, he came out and he was trying to stand up on her hands and everything. And he kicked me right in the head. Yeah, he kicked me right in the head with this big old fucking, I want to say steel-toed boot.
Yeah, yeah, because when he stepped up, he put his pee-pee right here. And
I had his
exactly.
on my head.
Like I do.
But we're going to be talking about that for a long time to come, just because, you know what I mean? He took that extra step to fucking interact with the crowd.
You'll always have that story till the day you die.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the memories. Like, you can't take... When Violent J was on Thuggalo show, he said one thing that I found profound as fuck. He said, you can't take nothing with you but your memories. So rack up as many fucking memories as you can while you're on this.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
Raven Black, we always play a game on the Thuggalo show called Trash or Fire. Do you know how this works?
No, I don't.
Okay, basically, I'm going to ask you, like, a location, a subject, a thing, anything. And I'm going to ask you, is it trash, meaning it's shitty, it's bad, it's dumb, it's stupid, or it's fire, which means it's awesome, hard, dope, the shit. You want to
All
play?
right. Yes, I do.
Run it. Some people have dogs. Some people have cats. Some people have snakes. Some weirdos have fucking rats and all sorts of shit. This week's Trash or Fire is one that a lot of people watching right now probably have sitting on their lap as they watch this shit on YouTube. Pets. Pets, trash, or fire.
Fire.
Do you have a pet?
I have 5. 6.
Oh, you gotta name them all. You gotta name them all.
I got 2 German Shepherds. It's Jezzy, Ondo, and then I have a little Pom Weenie named Rev. And then I've got Oliver, Kratos, and Parker for my cats.
Hell yeah. So it's an easy fire because she has hella pets. Onstead, trash or fire.
Pom Weenie. I got a pit lab American Bulldog that's my old man, and I love that man, so I'm going to say fucking fire.
Alright, so first of all, I'm going to predict that you're going to get a message from Becky about that rat comment. And then, right, but nah, yeah, I got pets. I love animals. Animals are probably better than humans. We don't deserve them, so definitely fire.
That's real.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, come on. You really want me to say trash on this one? Fire. I have a cat. He's a black cat. He's awesome, and I love him. And if anything happened to him, I'd fucking jump off a cliff tomorrow.
John Wick
fire.
somebody.
I'd John Wick somebody.
Fire,
my kitty.
I know.
Fire for pet.
Pets are fire except for that Corgi in the picture because he looks too happy to be there. So.
Shout out Corgis. Corgis, maybe a Thuggalo?
Corgi.
Now let's talk about this Pom
Corgi.
Weenie.
That's it. You said it.
Corgi.
I want to know your Pom Weenie. Is it like elongated?
Yeah, so it's a Pomeranian and a a wiener dog mix.
Wow.
Damn.
Is he a Thuggalo?
He's totally. Are you kidding me?
I knew it.
He's a fucking alpha compared to my big, gigantic.
They always are.
They said Dachshund. Yeah,
my German Shepherds were over 100 pounds, and he's their alpha. So that's some juggalo shit right there.
Yep.
For sure. Raven, did you hear about the fucking Titan submarine? It was all over the news this week.
No, I have not.
Well, you're very lucky because the entire internet was like, we made sure everyone heard about it. It was a fucking submarine went deep in the water this week. A lot of people, marine biologists,
diving
are like,
towards
yo.
the Titanic.
Yeah, it went to go see the Titanic. It didn't just dive in the water. It went to go see the Titanic.
Yo, marine biologists were straight up telling this dude months ago, like, yo, it's kind of a risky idea. Like, I don't know if that's going to work. He went all the way 12,000 leagues below.
The dude made the submarine himself for one, and then I guess he lied about like all this stuff that he's like I collaborated with this people, and then they're like, hey, we had nothing to do with that shit.
There's parts of this thing that you can buy at Camping World.
Shut up.
Just leave it at that. Yeah. And he was charging 5 people 250,000 bands to go in there and go down to go see the Titanic, who has a record of 2-0 against people. Why would you want to do that?
Raven, basically, since you don't know about it, they went down there. They lost oxygen. They were down there for like 100 hours. They all unfortunately passed away.
And then it imploded or something. Yeah, the whole stub imploded.
I just didn't know if you had a hot take on it because it was all over the news this week. That's why I threw it in.
No, I've been in the studio tracking, so I wasn't on social media as much. Shit.
How do you feel about social media, Raven?
I think it's a necessary evil. I don't hate it though. I love it. But it can take over. You know what I mean? I think too much of anything is not a good thing.
Yeah.
So you're not the type to just get on your timeline and scroll endlessly?
No.
Really?
That's
so what
good.
do you like to read? What are your hobbies?
My hobbies? Shit. I love playing with my dogs. That's like my all-time favorite pastime is just like to play snuggle games with them and go out back and hang out with my kids.
Oh yeah.
That's what I do. But video games, I'm not a gamer, but I like puzzle games. I like puzzle games. You know why? It's quiet.
It's
quiet. No,
Do you like
I literally
solitude?
have a million. I usually have a million things in my brain, and I'm always chaotic as far as like deadlines and shit I have to do because DIY. I run everything.
Right.
Everything. So, and the biggest part is the main reason why I'm on social media is to connect with my fans.
Absolutely, and that's really what it's for. In a way, for an artist, especially. Raven, we always do word association on the Thuggalo show. Basically, we're gonna say a name, and I want you to your best ability, describe them in one word. Do you want to play?
Yes.
First name on this list is yourself, Raven Black.
Honest.
Interesting.
Next name on the list. It's kind of a group of names. Juggalos.
Family.
So the next name we got is Blase Rose.
Beautiful.
The next name I have is two people: Violent J, Shaggy Two Dope, the Insane Clown Posse.
Amazing.
We're flying through this. I got one with 3 people. Scythe Gang 666.
Fucking dope ass shit.
Hell yeah.
So the next name is Jonathan Davis of Korn.
Legend.
Did you see that Korn is dropping an Adidas collab in October?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's fucking
They're
cool.
dropping shoes, tracksuits, shirts, and it's official Adidas branded with the Korn
I'm gonna
logo.
have to get something because I've been wearing Adidas since fucking forever.
That's a huge collab for the rock community. I don't
Do you
think
know
I've
the
ever seen
funny
anything.
story behind that though? Like,
No.
you remember how he used to rock the Adidas back in the day all the
The
time?
tracks too. And
Korn had originally went to Adidas back in the day and was like, "Hey, yo, sponsor us. We're wearing these motherfuckers every night."
Right.
Adidas at the time said, "No, we do athletes, not rock stars." So what happened? Puma ended up sponsoring them and giving them a big old check to do a bunch of shit with Korn. And then now, years later down the line, they were like, "Fuck, we fucked up." So now Adidas is like, "All right,
Yeah,
let's do it now. Let's do it now."
Yeah, you did.
For real. I think that's dope. I think I saw Lil
I love
Filth,
those fucked up
tweeted it.
shit stories though.
It's
I
cool
mean-
behind the scenes shit.
That's dope
Yeah.
shit because like Adidas back in the 90s had to be all like, yeah, we would never sponsor some weird degenerate shit like that.
We don't
now,
do rock stars.
You know, back then it was some old ass dudes. Now the corporate people at Adidas are like 30 and they grew up listening to the Korn. They probably got into Adidas because of Korn. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
So, yeah, so you think about it, just generationally, it eventually worked out, and I think it's dope that they're getting an official Adidas collab after all this time.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
really
Purple Boy-
it's well deserved. Well deserved.
For sure.
Well, that's like
The
the
ne-
whole Fago thing.
oh yeah,
Yes! Come on! We need
Because-
Wicked Clowns ICP flavors for Fago. Let's go!
Because as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I know it,
Yep.
when the corporate owner of Fago passes away, he's like an old, like 100-year-old man.
Yep.
When he passes away, the son has already told Jay and Shaggy, like, yo, when I get the fucking chair, we got this collab.
Really?
Literally-
Is it really gonna
Yeah.
happen? Fuck
That's-
yeah.
Violent J said this story on the Nardwar Serviette YouTube channel. I don't know if you're familiar
Can't
with
wait
Nardwar.
for that to happen. I'm gonna
So
be
we're
so
just
happy.
waiting. Yeah,
I've
we're just
never
waiting.
wished upon an old man's death before, but man,
We're
we hear it.
basically
But
waiting
you know
on
what? I
mans to
said
croak.
this shit. I said this shit like in my 30s, right? I said, you know what? One of these days, all these fucked up, like super fucking conservative fucking people, these old people are gonna die, and the new generation's gonna take over, and the world's gonna be a little bit better.
yep.
I said it
Absolutely.
in my 30s. Yeah.
The next name on this list, you're touring with them, Living Dead Girl.
Sweet. Molly is the sweetest, sweetest, sweetest person I've ever met.
Hell yeah.
next one on the list, we talked a bit about him earlier. Ouija Matt.
God. Man. What can I say about him? I haven't met him yet, but everything that I see him do, post, his music, the energy, the shows, everything I've looked up with him is just inspirational. That's the word I'm going to come up with him.
That's a good
He's
one.
doing his own thing.
Right.
Like, it's...
For sure.
So the next name on the list is Marilyn Manson.
I have to put my head down. I love
Right.
Marilyn Manson, and I
Pretty
don't fuck it.
problematic.
You know
Yeah,
what? Fuck
right.
it. People, I have my theory on that whole bit. Okay, being a female, I'm sorry, but there's something said for like when you go back to your same raper 3 or 4 times and want to marry him, that I can't get on with. I can't believe that. But you don't know until you know, right? You're not in it, right? But he is a brilliant artist. I love what he's done. I love his art. I love his imagery. I love his music. And yeah, I love fucking Marilyn Manson.
I see a lot of Manson influence in your stuff, just personally.
Yes. We were
Back in the
actually,
day.
believe it or not, right before that whole fiasco, he was supposed to be at the LA show for the Static X tour to
Damn.
come and meet me.
Yeah, Johnny Depp would have been hanging out with him. You would have met Johnny too, probably.
That would have been amazing. But I would have met him to do a possible collaboration on a tour.
That would have been hard.
Oh, that would have been iconic. Holy shit. That sucks that, that didn't work out. But yeah, I'm a huge Marilyn Manson fan. Of course, he's problematic as fuck, but it's none of my fucking business. I like his art.
But you know that about him. Like, he was like
Right,
that
that's what
before
he
he got
wanted.
famous.
Right, that's what the
Right.
fuck his
Oh, yeah, he
whole
was a
fucking
shocking
spiel was.
Yeah, that's why.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't date a dude like Marilyn Manson. You kind of know what's up as you walk into it.
You can probably have fun with him, but maybe you don't want to live with him. You know what I'm saying? The last
That's
name I
it.
have on this list is from Evanescence, Amy Lee.
Oh,
I love her. She's gorgeous. She has a beautiful angel voice. That's all.
yes.
She's
Oh,
an
yeah.
angel.
I agree with that statement. Raven Black, while we have you here on the Thuggalo show, I want to point out to all the Juggalos that you can catch her on the Scream Tour with Living Dead Girl, Owls and Aliens. You're hitting up a lot of places. I see
Yeah.
Utah, Colorado, Illinois, Tennessee, Ohio. You're going to be all over the place, huh?
And Michigan Metal Fest, don't forget.
100%. And of course, you're going to be at the Martian stage, the Gathering of the Juggalos. I want
Yeah.
to say that's Thursday, July 6th, I want to say, if I have that correct.
Yes, it's the 6th. I'm
3
excited
a.m.
because I get to be at spooky time, the witching hour,
Yeah.
my shit. Because of course, the main stage is the main stage, but we played at I think 7:30 and 21, and it was still daylight. So
Yeah.
like for me, it kind of threw off my whole nightmare vibe. You know what I mean? Bloody Sunday was good, but it's just I'm a fucking night crawler. I'm a like I that's where like I awaken. So like so yeah, I'm
I
really
know.
excited. 2 in the
Oh,
morning.
Right before the
Raven?
show, we were actually talking about how dope that time spot was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's like that perfect, like, everyone's lit, everyone's like just trying to get rowdy. Like, that's a really good spot to be in, for sure. Raven, where can people find you online?
On Facebook, Instagram. I'm getting ready to do a TikTok channel that's going to be like unmentionables that I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to
Nice.
try to do that soon. Yeah, where I talk about a lot of shit. Mainly from a chick perspective. Like we're going to talk about blowjobs, learning how to squirt,
Oh, wow.
tits that sag, tits that are perky, fake tits, real tits.
Everything I want to know.
Subscribe.
Right?
Subscribe.
Right? But I
Real
think it's
shit.
interesting shit, and I think women are made to feel ashamed to talk about shit like that. And I know, like, I was watching your thing, and I kind of want Face Tat Mammy to. Is it Mamie or Mammy?
It's Mommy.
Mommy.
Mommy. I want Face Tat Mommy to come on my show and just shoot the shit. Where girls just how you guys always shoot the shit.
Yeah.
I want to do a girl shoot the shit thing where we talk about some unmentionables.
I can hit her up and tell her to get in contact with you, and we can make that happen for you. 100%.
That'd be fucking cool. Yeah. I mean, this is like I told you. This is a different year for me, and going forward,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be a lot more vocal, a lot more open about who I am, and just talk about some real shit.
Hell yeah. Well, I want to say thank you to Raven Black. Shout out the Raven Black Band. You want to see her? Well, you can see her at the fucking gathering. Pull up on her. If you scream and yell at the front row, she's going to grab... Well, no, it's like a festival. But maybe she'll jump down on the ground, pull you over the barricade, and start beating you with your own hat. Maybe.
That would be amazing. I do have props. I do have a bat.
Oh, here we go.
So.
Game time.
No
And
lawsuits, Juggalos.
I want Juggalos, don't ever be shy to come up and say what's up. I want to meet everybody. I want to talk to everybody. We want to hang out. It's all good.
I got one last question before we let you go, Raven.
Yes.
Would you consider yourself a Thuggalo?
Definitely.
That's all
Fuck
I needed
yeah.
to hear.
Fuck yeah.
Raven Black, thank you for pulling up on the Thuggalo Show. You're welcome back anytime, and I'm going to do my...
Thank you so much, you guys.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Will
Hell
I
yeah.
get to see any of you guys?
Of course.
Oh, we'll all be there. We'll all be there, and
Are
we'll
you guys
all
going to be
pull up.
set up? Are you going to be set up somewhere?
Raven, we're booked. We're going to be on our own event on the same day. Noon to 3 p.m.
When? I need to look it up.
Thursday, July 6th, noon to 3 p.m. at the Blast Off tent. You can catch all of us in the flesh.
I'm gonna come over and hang out a bit.
Hey, FaceTap Mommy will be there too, so you can make that connection.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Confirmed.
Hell yeah. Raven, you have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great conversation.
Hell yeah.
Much love to you guys. Much love to you.
Whoop,
Whoop,
Whoop, whoop.
Hell yeah, that was Raven Black. You can see her at the gathering of the Juggalos. So dope that she pulled up.
I'm gonna be real, dog. I've been a fan since we seen her in 2021 at the 7 o'clock set, like she said. I was in the back at camp still listening to her, but man, I was like, "Who the fuck is that? This is hard."
She's a dope person. Hey, I didn't know she was 52 years old. I thought she was like 28. Like,
I had to find my wig because that's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, bro. Like that's kind of crazy, but she's still bad. Hey. Like it is what it is.
This shirt was fire too, by the way.
Elitzer, what do you think of Raven Black pulling up tonight?
Oh man, you gotta put me on the spot again. But no, obviously it was fresh as fuck. Like we said, man, it's like not only is she played in the gathering, but she's also played Bloody Sunday. She played fucking 21 gathering. So you know what I mean? It's nice to be able to fucking get her in here on a Juggalo show. You know what I mean? Let her fucking connect with the family a little bit more. Like she wanted all of you to know that she fucks with y'all.
Hell yeah. Let's waste no more time, guys. We do a segment on the Thuggalo Show every week called The Page of the Week. Who is this week's Page of the Week? Now, I'm going to be real. I recognize this cat. He was a Juggalo YouTuber a few years ago. He's not active anymore, but I had to pull his ass up out of retirement. You feel me? Mitch, the Murder Mayhem guy, Juggalo YouTube legend. Mitch, you're an inspiration to me, bro. So welcome to the Thuggalo Show.
What the fuck is up, y'all? Whoop whoop. You hear me okay? Audio's all good. Video's straight.
You sound great. You look great, man. You got a beard now? What the fuck, bro? That's lit.
Dude, I'm looking crazy as fuck. I grew it out just for the gathering. I'm trying to show up and surprise people with my, serial killer vibe. Haven't got a haircut in here.
Let's go.
People watching, I always wonder when I do shit like this, guest appearances, who knows or gives a shit about who I am. I mean, it doesn't really matter because if y'all know who I am, that's good enough for me. But fuck, I always get surprised at how many people still recognize me and shit. I mean, to this day, when I go to gatherings or wherever, people, shit, dude, I went to the Three-Headed Monster tour, and Shaggy the Airhead and Darby O'Trill recognized me, even with this crazy-ass beard. They were like,
you're in the culture, dog. You're in the culture, I
guess.
Right?
So,
because, like,
shit. Right.
You most definitely are embedded.
Well, that's great to know because I really see through the weeds on shit. Like, I look at ICP and I think about Ice Cube before him and before them, and I think about fucking Curtis Blow before Ice Cube, and think about fucking Africa Bambaataa. Fuck him, but I just think about him before Curtis Blow.
Not a Thuggalo.
I see like the matrix of like, well, this dude inspired this person and that influenced this guy and so. So it's like, as long as I'm part of that matrix, I feel like I did what I set out to do with my shit.
Bro, here's the thing about as it pertains to Murder Mayhem guy. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were active on YouTube at your peak, probably like what, 2018, 2019?
Okay, so on YouTube, yes. 2015 is when I started doing the podcasting, which at that time, a lot of the Juggalo YouTubers and stuff weren't really doing the podcasting area. I mean, they would do YouTube channels, some of them, and they would call it a podcast, but you couldn't actually like download it on an RSS feed on, Spotify or wherever.
Yeah.
I was actually doing it like legitimate podcast style 2015. I didn't get the YouTube page until after, a few years later. That was like a big like migration for me. Like, I'm coming to YouTube, y'all. I know now like most people just start on YouTube, which makes sense.
Right.
But for me, I kind of did it in the opposite order of what most people are doing now. And like you said, probably started the YouTube page right around, I think of everything in my life in terms of like what major ICP event was going on at the time. So I started the YouTube page before the Fred Fury era, so probably 2017 is when I started.
Bro, that's when I got familiar with you, because like I mean, we have like our Spotify set up and our Apple podcast. People can listen to the audio versions of this show. That was inspired by you, because you were like the only Juggalo doing YouTube, but it was also an audio format to listen to your show, which I didn't find out till after. Like, I found you strictly from YouTube, so I was not aware of the prior podcast stuff. But I went back and listened to your catalog because you were like the only Juggalo at that time making like active shit that wasn't on the inside. Like, you were not a psychopathic employee or anything. You were just
when I was doing it, and if you watched my, and I always did my shit alone just because I am like, I can get on my motor mouth shit, so that's the way this is gonna be. When I started doing my shit, there was not a lot of people doing it, and I would say 0 people doing it on the level that I would want to watch as a viewer. So I was watching the stuff that was out there and saying, this can be done so much better. For one thing, none of them ever talked about fucking Juggalo shit. All they did was talk about each other. That shit drives me crazy. It's like, I want to hear about what ICP did this week. I want to hear about what Twisted or whoever at the time was doing. I didn't want to hear about your beefs with the other YouTubers and shit. And I think you guys are kind of on that same page. I mean, I've seen you bring that up and say, like, you don't deal with beefs because you don't care. Which is great. I mean, that's the stuff I see myself in.
Nobody's
like,
got
that's
time for drama shit, man.
Yeah.
Right.
It's stupid. And the people watching, who could possibly give a shit? I want to hear about the new ICP shit or whatever it is that happened that week. And in preparation for today, I watched a few more. Now, I had seen your Violent J episode, and I had heard about you guys on Facebook and shit, but it wasn't until the Violent J episode where I was like, oh, okay, this is some shit. I need to.
You and everyone else, Murder Mayhem.
I mean, I looked at the views, and it's like, like 300 views, 400 views, 200 views, 8,000 views on the Violent J episode. So it's like, all right, I'm not alone. Did I drop out?
No, you're there. I think your video freezes, but your audio's been great the whole time.
Okay, well, that's cool then. I think my USB port's shitty. So, anyway, I watched that episode, and then, I don't know, I guess maybe I commented on your shit saying what a good job I thought you had done, because that was a big deal. Like, if you would have fucked that up, and I think maybe you knew this in the time, but you didn't let yourself get into your head. That was a huge deal. Like, if you would have fucked that up, you probably would have fucked that up for all Juggalo podcasters for a long time. Like, if he would have came on here and had a shitty time, that would have been the imprint on his head. Like, well, I'm not doing that shit again. But he seemed like he was having a really great time.
Well, Mitchell, I have to point it out. It wasn't like a situation where we contacted him. He kind of hit us up and was like, "You guys are like doing great promotion. Why haven't y'all asked me to be on?" Like, I wasn't. I think people like to think we sit there and knock his door every fucking day, but really, he dead ass asked us why hadn't we asked him yet, and I was like, I mean, because I didn't think he.
Yeah,
I know.
Like,
but
man, you can't make time for the Duke.
Yeah.
I mean, even still, though, the point stands. If you would have fucked it up, that would have been bad. It would have been. It would have been a bad time for him and for Juggalo podcasters. But instead, you totally knocked it out of the park. You asked all the right questions, and watching that interview was my first time, like, really, like, getting to know the show and stuff.
Well, that's why when you contacted us, like, shouting us out, or there was some form of, like, a shout-out or a comment where I was like,
I commented, and YouTube commented, and Facebook commented and shit saying I thought you were doing a great job.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, I know him. Like, that's a dude I fuck with. That was, like, an inspiration for me to get on the YouTube. That's why I contacted you to make this happen. Because, you know, I do respect your opinion, and I'll be honest, bro, I kind of miss you on YouTube, bro. I think a big void happened when you left. Like, why did you leave?
It's so much fucking work. It's so much work. God, it's like, if you want to do this, that has to be, at least in my experience, and maybe there's an easier way that I'm not privy to, but for me, it was like, okay, I go to work for 10 hours a day to make my actual paycheck, and then I come home and work on this for fucking 10 hours a day. When do I do anything? When do I sit on my ass and play video games? When do I do the shit that I really want to be doing? Which, if that's your drive, and I think for you guys it is, and you've talked about before, in preparation for knowing I was going to be on tonight, I watched a few more of your shows. I watched the Kung Fu Vampire episode and the Rude Boy episode, which, by the way, maybe I just had bad luck in picking, but that was 2 bad episodes for technical difficulties. But
bro, Kung Fu was like, I think he just the alleyway.
He was in an alleyway.
And Rudy wasn't your fault either. His phone died or whatever it was. But
and you know what was still, bro? Rudy tried to reschedule, and then some other shit happened, and we had to do Wacko the Kid as like a last minute audible, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that regardless of that, I mean, that's not even pertinent to what I was going to say. That was just an aside. But actually, I don't even remember what I was going to say now. But what jumps out when watching your show? Oh, right. No, this is what it was. You can feel that, like, this is your passion in what you're doing. Like you mentioned on one of those episodes, you go to bed at night thinking about what you're going to do on the Thuggalo show the next day. And I just didn't have that, honestly. To me, it just felt like work all the time. It felt like work. It's like, fuck, I got to do this. I got to do this fucking shit. And I did everything by myself. And I know,
that's another thing I give you a lot of credit for. You did it all by yourself. Like, I have to credit you. That's why I was inspired. I was like, man, he's doing it by himself. Maybe I could do it by myself. And I was like, nah, that shit look hard as fuck. I ain't doing that.
It sucks. And I don't think I was even, and I don't know, did you ever watch Beneath the Dirt, his podcast?
Yeah, I'm aware.
I don't know. I mean, is he even still around anymore? Because
I think he took a hiatus. He took a hiatus from.
Did he ever say anything about it, or did he just disappear?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. So I hope he's doing all right. But he did all his shit himself. But I feel like he was smarter about it because he, like, I don't know. He prepared things, graphics in advance and stuff. I would record everything and then go back and edit it. And Photoshop all the images, edit all that shit in. Maybe there's a faster way. Maybe there's a better way. Maybe if I could find a better way, I would be more inclined to come back and do it again. But the way I was doing it, it was just taking up so much fucking time. And that's the reason. I mean, that's really all it came down to.
But you're still passionate about Juggalo community and the Juggalo life.
It's all I want to talk about all the time. So, I mean, we shouldn't even be talking about me anymore. We should just move on to Juggalo shit. Like,
Okay.
Did any what's in the Juggalo news this week? What are we talking this week?
Well, I know
what
the Walking Home Tuesday, right on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Walking Home Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. I wonder if some of the parts. What's that?
It's coming with the CD, the ski mask, a fucking sling book bag, which looks so fucking dope. The comic book, keychain sticker pack, and the fucking board game. So that's a fucking
what I'm wondering though is if some of those parts are going to be recast because Straight Jacket was on that, and as far as I can tell, him and Straight Jacket aren't exactly on.
That ain't gonna. Yeah.
So what I mean,
sitting at the bus stop.
But
well, bro, at this rate, it's dropping every 2 gatherings. At this rate, like.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it, then it's a 14-year saga to get through the whole week. But I noticed that Straight Jacket's character is on one of the stickers there as a giveaway. As a fucking juggalo with Asperger's, I pay attention to this like minutest details. Straight Jacket's on the sticker there on the giveaway, so is he gonna be on the CD? I doubt it. I mean, either we write that character out or we recast him. I don't know, but I know Blase Rose and Sugar Slam are on there as well. I don't know exactly what the working relationships are with them.
I don't know.
I mean, I know. I don't feel badly for saying this because it's been public record, but Shaggy and Renee, I know, are not cool with Blase Rose at all. I know you guys are. She's a friend of the pod. I have no opinion about any of that whatsoever. I don't know shit about shit, but
yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it doesn't involve me or like people, like, you know what I'm saying. So, but I mean, the speculation is worth talking about. You know what I mean? But it's family shit. At the end of the day, bro, we're all a family, and it's family shit happens. You feel me?
And at the end of the day, that falls under the drama category where we don't touch around here.
That's real shit,
exactly.
though, you know.
I know
that
talk about.
Tierra Diaz is hyped about being involved with that shit, so I'm sure he'll be around for a while.
Yeah,
but man, you gotta get him on the show. Tierra Diaz.
Oh yeah, Tierra Diaz is bro. Murder Mayhem, bro. I got a list of 5,000.
I'm sure.
It's a crazy list. You know, the thing about it is, like, you want to talk about view count. Honestly, bro, like, at this point, bro, it's just, I want to introduce people to the family that I think a lot of juggalos aren't aware of. Like, Mr. Cisco is a legend in the font community, but juggalos don't know that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw him on there, but I watched the Kung Fu Vampire episode and the Rudy episode because those are, like, dudes that I am interested in hearing about.
No, it's dope. Bro, the fact that you even clicked on the video means the world to me. It's just, you know, the thing about the Thuggalo show that we're trying to do is just, like, be like a companion to, like, the C-17, the younger, quote-unquote, crowd of juggalos, you know what I'm saying? Just, I fuck with the old heads, and I respect the old heads' opinion, and, like, even you, bro, like, I know, like, when you were doing the Murder Mayhem show on a consistent basis, you weren't the biggest Ouija fan, but you never really dissed him, it seemed. Like,
you know what? I know you guys, and from even just from the title of your show, but just you guys are all in on Ouija around here, and I respect that. Let me tell you this: I have listened to there you go, Austin. I've listened to more Ouija this year than probably the previous 5 years or whatever combined. So this is where I'm at on Ouija, and I'm happy to talk about Ouija. I'm happy to talk about fucking old juggalo shit. So I never fucked with Swagtooth or knew anything about it. Did you guys? Were you like Swagtooth dudes?
I was a huge fan just because I was on SoundCloud, so I just, I was into everything. And, when Ouija got signed to Psychopath, I was like, oh, it's somebody from, like, the underground scene of SoundCloud getting put on some juggalo shit. So I was with it from the jump, you know what I'm saying?
Right. What about y'all, Elixir?
Once I discovered Ouija, I went back and started listening to the old Swagtooth shit, and, like, I was a fan. I'm not gonna lie, front and say like I wasn't, but, like, you could see the growth of where he was then to where the motherfucker is now, and I think his status now is way better than Swagtooth era.
I think Swagtooth holds up personally, but
it does. Yeah. It holds up. It holds up 100%.
Oh, yeah,
but the new Ouija compared to back then,
let it. Come on, bro.
But look at the Alice Cooper Lettuce music video. Look how high quality that video is. Pre-Psychopath.
It still holds up.
Pre-Psychopath.
He was doing that on a shoestring budget back then. They looked like they was in NASA on a fucking Bro, that's like get it out the mud shit. That's why I always fucked with Ouija before.
Right, totally. So, and I didn't know shit about Ouija. I mean, maybe I'd heard the name Swagtooth from like gathering programs or where here and there, wherever.
For Twisted a lot, Murder Man.
Okay, so I had heard the name, but like something that I have a real quote unquote problem with. I don't see it as a problem, but I really don't fuck with somebody until they get the cosign. Like, I'm not plugged
like
into the
underground
underground.
Show with Alan J. Nah, I'm fucking.
Right.
I'm fucking.
But one exception I can give you is Ritz, because I was fucking with Ritz before he signed Strange, but that was only because I heard Twisted talk about him, and so I fucking started fucking with Ritz from Twisted. But
Ritz
for the most part,
dope as fuck. I love Ritz.
Yeah. And we can talk about him later when we get into gathering talk and shit. But I mean, like, I didn't know shit about all Azul Elu until they got signed Automatic Ninja. I'm not like plugged in like that. I mean, I think Axe is the shit, but
respect.
I didn't know shit about Ouija until he got signed, and then I believe Ouija's first appearance as a psychopathic artist was the Cypher shoot, which I wasn't at because that. What where are you guys based out of, by the way?
I'm in Ohio, right outside Columbus, where that shoot was actually at. But I wasn't there. Okay. No, I didn't go.
What about you, Onstead?
Nah, I don't think any of us were at that shoot, but that was.
Well, I mean, just where are you at in general, though, just so I know.
Oh, I'm in VA, but from Ohio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but Ohio's fucking. That's like.
I'm in
Michigan. That's like Juggalo capital. Okay, you're in Michigan. Okay, so anyway, I'm in Oklahoma. I'm far away from all that shit. But yeah, so I think that was his first appearance. But I first saw him at the March. Did any of y'all go to the March?
I regret not going, bro. But I did not.
It's one of those things
awesome.
that it's like you knew it was monumental, but it's just like, damn.
Did you go, Mitchell? Did you go to the March?
Oh yeah, that shit was a feather in my cap because what I did miss was the 2016 Wizard of the Hood gathering. Did anybody go to that?
That was in Oklahoma. I didn't go to that one.
No, that 2017 was Oklahoma. 2016 was like I think 16, it was
Wizard of the Hood. Yeah, Wizard of the Hood in 2016. I was at because that was Legend Valley, right?
I believe it was. I didn't go to that, and it fucking kills me to this day. Like I look back on that thing, like that sucks. I couldn't be there, but it happens. So that sucked. I missed that.
The March, bro. My regrets the March.
Well, I mean, so yeah. So it's like that's a thing where I look at it and say, well, at least I can say I went to the March because that shit fucking ruled. It was awesome. Anything great you've ever heard of?
Bro, the shot of the Fago flying with the Lincoln Monument in the background or whatever the fuck.
It was crazy. It was crazy to see that shit with your own eyeballs.
That's crazy.
Like seeing the face because it was kind of in the air of like, are they gonna actually throw Fagos? Because it was like it's a Lincoln Memorial.
They were not even supposed to curse, bro. They weren't even supposed to do
and none of the opening acts did. So you can tell that, like, including Ouija, you can tell that they actually held that like to them, saying like, "Don't do this." But when ICP came on, they must have just had the attitude of like, "Fuck it, what are they gonna do? Shut the show down now?" No, that was a clown show, 100%. It was like no different from seeing an ICP show anywhere else. So, anyway, all that to say, that was the first time I had seen Ouija as a psychopathic, period at all. But that was one of his first appearances as a psychopathic artist, and it was kind of in the. I mean, Juggalos are people were talking about what they had just seen and stuff, and some people were into it, some people weren't into it at all, and I part of the Juggalo culture is like always like giving the new guy a hard time. I think, which I believe in. I think that's a good standard. It's like you got to prove yourself because so many people. We've seen this so many times. How many people try to pander to the Juggalos, thinking that it's an easy ticket, and then when it's not, they get all pissed off and leave. It's like,
right,
good.
It's like, bro, you're rapping about Fago. You got to do more than that, dog. Like,
exactly. So it's like
that's a good segue into kind of like bringing up like C-17 and the now 2 signees that Ouija has signed to C-17. What is your opinions on like Hex and Darby?
Hex is the shit because I really like. I mean, I'm 38 years old, and some people don't even realize that to talk to me. They always think I'm like a younger dude. I know you guys are all younger than that, but I grew up on fucking Ice Cube and Eazy-E and that kind of shit. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and W.A. So he's bringing the West Coast wicked shit. He's not doing what Ouija's doing. He's doing that shit, and I'm into that. And I definitely, is there a release date on his LP yet?
The Tales of the Cursed G is upcoming, but as of right now, there's not a date yet.
Sure.
That'd be dope, hey. It's for real, bro. I can't wait for that shit.
Gathering, bring it, bro.
For real.
Oh, yeah.
Take my money, son.
I know even before he was signed, he had that Carnival of Carnage sample in that one song. So,
Psycho?
like,
that
shit's dope to me, so I fuck with him. And I've seen him at the Gathering and stuff to support his live show and stuff. And he does a good live show. Darby O'Trill, also the shit. I'm not super familiar with his back catalog. This comes back again to me like having a problem with not doing a deep dive until they get the cosign. Now he's got the cosign. I'll definitely be hitting up
now you
Creek.
got pre-order Creek, yeah.
It's only a
I'll be
month
fucking
now.
with that.
Yeah, it drops July 21st.
A major supporter of the Juggalo culture. I mean, even back when I was tweeting all the time and shit, he was very active on there, big supporter of that kind of stuff. I know we shouted out Onstead when he saw him at the 3 of the Monster show. So he knows his shit like
show
that.
Early on, bro. He helped us out in the beginning.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Big homie.
Yeah, so I'll definitely be fucking with him. And I thought he could be this. Whenever Ouija was teasing, that there's going to be a third, I kind of had it in my head like Darby O'Trill would make sense. So I'll definitely be fucking with his shit.
Yeah, even though we played devil's advocate, we were still saying like we know it deserves to be Darby. We know it's going to be Darby, but if it wasn't, we would also like to see.
I mean, a cool ass dude. I got to meet him at the 3 of the Monster show, and just cool as fuck, And he did a great show. So, happy for him. But going back to what I was saying about Ouija, like when he put out Gutter Water, I fuck with the psychopathic shit, like top to bottom. Like nothing comes out of psychopathic that I don't listen to over and over and over again, whether I like it or not, just to be familiar with it. And I fuck with Gutter Water. I like that shit. And then you were saying probably 20 minutes ago by now, but it was you were saying like that when I was doing my show that I said that I didn't really fuck with Ouija that much.
The way I interpreted it was that you were saying like, "Hey, it's not my bag," but you weren't like actively
and that is what I said. Yeah. So and I can't fucking lie to gas anyone up. I wish that I could. I don't seem to have that ability. It would probably help me out in life in general. But
people appreciate the genuinity.
That's why I liked you, Mitch. That's why I liked you, because I was like, he don't fuck with Ouija Matter, but at least he's giving his honest opinion.
Right.
That was like the number one like feedback I would always get. It would be like, well, that's what we like about you. So, like, after
I was
Gutter
in your
Water,
chats, dog. Like straight up. I was in there yapping the most.
I think if you from like, and I don't know the exact order. Maybe you guys would know better than me. But after Gutter Water, if you go from like Water Damage to Resistance to Pretty Ugly to Resistance 2 to Zodiac to Wasteland, it's like a stretch of albums that like I gotta pick and choose the ones that I like. Like that was kind of my experience, and I saw him blowing up. Like everybody was loving this shit, so it's like, well, that's cool. I'm not gonna try to hate on him or stop his hustle or whatever. But like, it was like a long stretch of albums where I was like, maybe I'm just not that into him. But
what did you think about him dropping album after album after album after album?
Dude, it's too much. It's too much. What a good question. That's part of what causes a problem for me, because it kind of creates this like culture of dispensability. Like you listen to it thinking like, well, what is this? Just like stuff he recorded for an EP and he didn't think was good enough. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to project too much. It's just these are the inner workings of.
Well, isn't that what Water Damage was? Was all songs that weren't good and
Water
good
Damage
enough for
no, they
Water?
weren't not good enough. They were songs on Water Damage that Ouija wanted to put on Gutter Water that Jay was like, Juggalos aren't gonna fuck with this.
Well, you know what? I think
Tracks.
Violent J is a master executive producer then because he made all the right cuts, if you ask me. I think Gutter Water is a great album, so...
I respectfully disagree, Mr.
Yeah, so
I thought you guys might, but maybe this will make you happy. I've turned around on the shit now because I stopped kind of... After around... Wasteland probably, and I would check out the singles and stuff, like the music videos I would check out, and I'd seen him live enough times. Like he opened for Shaggy Two Dope on Fuck the Fuck Off Motherfucker tour, and I think he opened
Fury
for ICP on the Fred Fury, on the Fury Fest.
Yep.
So I'd seen him live enough to like kind of keep up with like his big singles and shit, and some of them that I fuck with, but after around Wasteland, I was like, well, maybe this shit's just too young for me. Like, maybe this just isn't my shit. But this year, I actually went back and caught up with everything like C17 era, and it's like, well, fuck. As soon as I stopped listening to him, he got fucking awesome because like from like Dirtbag to Pretty Ugly 2 to Stale Wind to Detritus, those are some great fucking albums. Like, I don't think I've ever listened to an artist with the range of like awesomeness to I don't want to listen to this as much as Ouija.
Did you like Problem Children? There's a lot of range.
That's another thing. All of those collaboration albums, not into, because the guests are not. I know. I don't want to listen to the. I don't want to listen to those guests.
Are you
Golden
aware?
BSB, Ricky Hill, Star Fox. No, I don't do it. I don't do it.
Golden BSP on the show.
Yeah, Goldie was a page of the week as well.
Oh well,
he was a
great
page of the week. Hell yeah.
So, well, he's probably watching right now, and good for him. No, I can't really fuck with his features like that. Whenever he has a feature on one of his like full lengths, it's usually good shit. Like, and it's never anyone I've ever heard of, other than like Whitney Payton, Ritz, Violent J, of course. But like that Gizmo dude, whoever that is, on that Boiler Room song,
been a legend.
that shit's hard as fuck. The song
coming up.
FJ Outlaw on Stale Wind.
Yes, exactly. Yes, totally. He's a great one. That's a good one. I wouldn't mind seeing him. I don't even know who the fuck that is, but I would like to see him at the gathering just because I like his features so much. But like Dirtbag is like near. That's as close to a perfect album as I've heard in years, and that's
Dirtbag
just
has
like
a special place in my heart too.
It's so good. Where every song is. See, when I listen to like. I tend to catch up on things in a binge these days. Lately, I don't keep up with stuff as it comes out besides ICP or like solo shit from ICP anymore. And so usually, like even like Tech Nine, like an artist that I really fucking love a lot, I don't listen to his new shit as it comes out anymore. I kind of let it ride for a few years and then I'll just binge it all at once. So whenever I do a Ouija binge to catch up on his shit, it's like a lot of the tracks just kind of run together to me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't have a young ear. Maybe I can't catch the subtle differences in the tracks. But when I listen to Dirtbag,
there's nothing wrong with that, man. That you like what you like.
Thank you.
You know
I appreciate the support. But like the tracks where he's not doing the same thing, they're so good. Like I really love the like the Dirtbag and the Stale Wind tracks and stuff. And even going back to the old shit, I mean, I even went back and did like a re-listen of a lot of the older stuff just to make sure there was like nothing that I missed. And I mean, there's some good shit. Like you could you can take Ouija's discography from and Trash Fire. I'm kind of Trash Fire is not bad. I mean, I always like some of those songs when I heard them live and stuff. But if you take the Ouija discography from Trash Fire up to now, up to Detritus, I could definitely pull enough tracks to make like a 50 album or 50 song playlist. So it's like, how can I hate on that easily shit? I mean, it's like, I can't sit here and be like, well, Ouija sucks. He only has 50 songs that I like. You know, like,
right.
It's only in comparison because, dude, how many albums has he put out since he got signed in 2017?
I don't know, bro. I'll be honest. Off top, I do not know. It's
over a dozen. It's got to be. He's got to put out like he had to have put out like 200 plus songs just in the last 6 years. I assume.
Yeah, the 5-year anniversary of Gutter Water was last month. So.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, I know Gutter Water was 2017, but he was just putting them the fuck out. But I was trying to keep up. I was keeping up for the longest time. Like, it was right until like Resistance, where I was like, I can't keep up with this shit anymore. I'm just gonna listen to ICP now from now on, and it's kind of.
What's your favorite Ouija Mat song? If you could pick one, Murder Mayhem.
Man, right now, the two that I go to all the time now are Awful and Fucked Up right now. I play those daily. What are you guys' favorites?
God damn it.
Oh, bro, I don't even have an answer, bro.
So I will say live, one of my favorite songs is Majesty live.
I'm going to agree. Yes.
Produced by
Oh
Ross
my god.
I mean, I like 17 Blunts. That's just what I was about to say.
Live
17 Blunts is a good one. 17 Blunts of Fire.
I've seen it so many times that like that and Play a Low are like my like top low tier ones because I've seen it 35 times.
Play a Low
live
hits different live.
Yeah,
I can't wait till the Gathering because at the Gathering it's gonna go super duper hard and I'm with it. Yes.
You know what's the shit about Ouija is he's clearly, when you listen to it, it's like this dude is all in. Like he's not half stepping at all. It's like this dude is all in on Juggalo shit.
That man is a Juggalo 100%.
There's a song, I think it was on Detritus, where it had a sample from Intelligence and Violence, and I recognized that right away, and I was like, damn, I feel like that's some shit that him or Devereaux or whoever produced it dropped in just for guys like me to listen to and say, I see what you're doing. You know, he'll drop in like samples from like Big Money Hustlers. He'll drop in like samples, even just from like random lines from ICP songs. He'll drop them in, and it's like, I know that dudes like me and dudes like you are so obsessed with this shit that we're going to hear that and recognize it. And I appreciate that you're doing that. And so I get that, and I like it.
Mitch, what are you looking forward to the most at the Gathering this year? And how many gatherings have you been to? You've been to a lot, right?
This will be number 9 for me, which I always like to say is whenever I tell people how many gatherings I've been to, more than some, not as many as others. Because it's like some people haven't even been to one or have been to only one, which is cool. But some of my homies have been to fucking like 19, 20, or even all of them.
Our homie Wakanda has been like, what, 19?
Yeah, I think he's like
19. So it's like I can't get a big head about being like, this is my 9th gathering, motherfucker. Like, okay. Ask Scotty D how many fucking gatherings he's been to.
And I feel like a rookie still, you know what I'm saying?
This is my third consecutive.
It's my
I mean, in my mind, it only takes one. Like, once you've been to one...
That's all it was.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, you've crossed it off the bucket list of, like, I had the experience. Because all 9...
each time.
All 9 that I've been to have been the shit. And I went to the Oklahoma City one, which I wasn't even planning on going that year, but I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is like an hour and a half away. So it's like, all right, I got to fucking go to that one. I'm not going to not go to that one. And that's the one.
I didn't go to that one because it was so fucking far away, but I heard it was still fun.
It was in my backyard.
Yeah.
And,
I heard it was
even
stale because of the cops and shit.
Yeah, right. Even Kung Fu Vampire said on the episode with y'all that he was like, I think every Juggalo can agree that was the worst one. And it's like, God, I hate to hear it. Now, I'll tell you, of the ones that I've been to, the 9, that was the worst one. But it was still a fucking gathering.
What was your experience that was bad, Mitch?
It was so hot. God damn, it was hot. And anyone listening that was there remembers how hot it was. And it is that way every fucking summer in Oklahoma. It's that way right now, where it's in the 90s, and it was like 104 plus every fucking day. It was miserable. And plus, what Kung Fu Vampire said, the cops were being dickheads, which meant no girls walking around with their tits out, which is like, come on, it's like the best part of the gathering. You weren't seeing any of that.
There was like a curfew.
Oh no, they were cracking girls for that shit, so you weren't seeing tits out. I mean, it was like small stuff that just added up. Like, I mean, to get to the parking lot, it was like one street across a not busy highway to get to the parking lot. But the cops, just to be dicks, were telling people like, no, you got to walk all the way to this bridge and then cross, which made it miles long in 104-degree heat. It's like, this is borderline murder, what you're asking people to do here. I mean,
for real.
Like, as I was making the walk, it was like, if I just passed out right now, no one would find me until another juggalo get to the party.
Until somebody else is coming to go get ice, and they're like, oh,
right. When you can easily just walk across the street safely and easily. So it's stuff like that where it's like, they're just being dicks. And Aria the Rugged Man, I'm a big fan of Aria the Rugged Man. Looking forward to seeing him at the gathering. You guys fuck with him at all?
I fuck with him. I think that's
he played at that. He played at that gathering, and he was headlining a late night set, and the cops shut it down.
Right?
The cops shut it down right at 4 a.m., which is like apparently some kind of noise ordinance that I don't know if anyone was bitching or not, or whatever it was. It's like that shit just doesn't happen in the gathering. Like, you don't shut the shit down right at 4 a.m. on the dot unless you're trying to agitate people. And yeah, he did salvage the show by rapping into a megaphone and making it. He made it cool. But it's just shit like that. It's just like, man. And not only that, but like 4 artists that I really wanted to see. It was already kind of slim pickings, but like of the whole lineup, there was just a bunch of no-shows for some reason. I mean, I know that has nothing to do with the cops, but like Jelly Roll no-showed, Brother Lynch no-showed, Mad Child no-showed. Just like, man, this is just one bone after another around here. But it sucks for me because I
showed on us.
Yeah,
who
Puya
did?
no showed last year. Puya.
Oh fuck that! Who gives a shit? Like,
bro, Puya's hard.
all the
I fuck with Puya hard.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I mean, I'm older than you guys, so I can say fuck that shit.
I don't know.
Being from Oklahoma, it still sucks that to this day everyone's like, fuck Oklahoma. And Juggalos still call it fuck Oklahoma. It's like, man, the whole state's not like that. That was just a bad experience in one city.
Are you looking forward to Hatchet Man project, Mitchell?
I'm not looking forward to them. Last year, my listening to them was I could hear them. Were they main stage last year?
Yes.
Yes, they were.
Yeah. So from where I was camped out, I could hear them playing. See, it's kind of a funny thing. Like hearing about them, it's like, man, that's some corny shit. I don't want to hear fucking not as good versions of ICP songs. That was my thought before. But then as I was like sitting there at my campsite and I could hear it, I was like, actually it's pretty cool just to be hearing ICP lyrics right now. Like, I could be hearing some bullshit right now, but instead I'm hearing like songs that I know that I love with guitars in them. I even made the joke to my crew in my campsite, like, they should just make this the rule, like, everyone performing has to do ICP songs. If you want to be booked together, you got to cover ICP songs. So, I don't know. What are you guys looking forward to them or what?
We had them on the show. I think it's dope that they're putting them back on main stage. I think it is dope music to hear when you're walking the ground. You hear like the metal version of Piggy Pie or some shit. I do think that's like a dope thing. Personally, looking forward to City Morgue. Fucking Ouija Mac set. I really hope he does something crazy this year. I know 2021 is my favorite Ouija Mac gathering set because he came out in the Tesla and it was all fresh and shit.
Oh, that's cool. I don't even remember. I definitely saw it. I don't.
Hell yeah.
I don't really remember, but Yeah, that's
the Clownvis late night party,
Yeah.
the C17 late night party. It's a lot of things I look forward to. Shake Will, Free Will, fucking Shaggy the Airhead, Devereaux's party. Man, I'm just glad to gather Mitch.
Yes.
It's only
There-
a couple days.
I'm ready to go. Let's go
I'm
today.
so ready.
Can we start
There's
now?
there's so much shit. Like, I'm not even that big of a fan of that much current stuff, and yet they seem to have hit nearly all of my favorites. Yellow Wolf. Did any of y'all see Yellow Wolf fucking last time he was at the gathering?
2018, eyeballs, Roman candle of some sort.
Yes. God damn, it was crazy. I never thought he'd be back again after that, but
Right. No,
You
I
know
give him
Juggalo
props.
too.
I give him props for continuing to go on when a lot of artists would have
of
dipped
course,
out.
it was so awesome. It was so great. I believe that was actually 29. Wait, no,
That was
no, you're right.
2018.
You're right.
It was
You're right.
Woodstock.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
So you said you went to the Three-Headed Monster tour, so that means you did get to see Free Will. And what do you think about them?
There are boys.
They're the
man.
shit. I mean, and again, see, I'm consistent. If nothing, I'm not consistent. I can't go. I can't peep till I get the cosign. So the first full song of theirs I heard was the one with Violent J and Isham, and that shit was the shit. And
Jay had a
I
great
heard
verse on that shit. By the way, I thought.
Godzilla goes hard, man.
Yeah.
I heard Violent J on your show giving them props, saying like how he likes how their videos look all professional, and yeah, I mean he's right. That's like game recognized game. So
To
it's
go
like
back to Ouija, bro, I think that's why he signed Ouija. Look at how dope those Swag 2 videos are. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and it was interesting. I think he said this on your show. He said this, definitely said it somewhere. I think he said it here because where else would he say it? How like him and Ouija actually clashed heads at first because he was trying to do the typical. Violent J was trying to like steer him, like tell him what to do and shit, and that Ouija was kind of just like, I already know what I'm doing. So like he said, they kind of butted heads at first, but
That's why, bro, like I think Bigot Basher, Majesty, they were supposed to be on Gutter Water, but Jay had like a firm like, no, Juggalos are not gonna like this.
and I get it. Like I've made this observation before. Like, okay, I mean, here's a can of worms, but who gives a shit? What do you guys think about Twisted? I mean, are you guys fucking with Twisted still?
I
or
liked
what?
Twisted when I was younger, and after how they treated the family, after how they treated the march, I can't fuck with them
That's it.
anymore.
Right there.
That's it.
Exactly.
I can't fuck with them anymore.
I always said, man, it comes from a place of hurt. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I liked them a lot when I was 14, 15 for sure, but I don't like them
Yeah,
anymore.
it's been such a long road, and I've been down since '99. I think Onstead you said like 2002. Trying to remember. And Elixir, I know you said '99. Trailer Park. What?
So
It was like 04, 05 for me.
Right. And so for me, like getting into the shit in '99, Twisted was a huge part of that. Like that was when Twisted on Psychopathic was in the prime, and it's like, and Most Tasteless and Freak Show are so good, and their shit on writers and just everything, Cryptic Collection, everything they were putting out was fucking so good that I was like ride or die for Twisted for so long, including the time that they left. Like, to me, leaving was not a big deal. It wasn't until, like you guys said, shitting on the march, it's like,
Yeah. I didn't
right.
mind when they left, but it was like a weird thing where they was like clearly not trying to like rep their roots and where they came from. It was
that
like,
was
when
bad. They
when
are
they're
so...
demanding when they're demanding masters and shit, like when everybody knows, like you don't fucking do that. Ain't nobody do that.
I have a lot of thoughts about everything in the Juggalo world, and when it comes to Twisted ICP stuff, that's like, oh, there's like so much to get into. Demanding the masters, I actually don't have a problem with, because it's like, well, if ICP agreed to that, then that's on them for taking a bad deal. Whatever, though.
Right.
I mean, here's the facts: like ICP and Twisted have been petty, taking shots at each other, both of them. Twisted is absolutely, positively, 1,000% wrong about everything they've ever said about the march, about how the gang list isn't real, and this and that. I mean, to this day, you can Google 2000 11, whatever it is, 2011 FBI gang assessment, gang threat assessment, and you can see the list. It's in the assessment. It just lists gang after gang after gang, and juggalos are in there. And yes, there are juggalos that are in gangs. That's true, but it doesn't specify that in the report. It just says juggalos, one word, juggalos. That's all of us. So Twisted's fucking wrong about all that shit. And it got to this point where it was like, all right, well, I hella disagree with everything that you're saying. And on top of that, the music you're putting out sucks, and I don't want to listen to it. Generation Nightmare, not good. All of their Magic Ninja Entertainment stuff, not stuff that I want to listen to.
The way we feel about it, bro, is like Twisted hasn't really done anything of relevance in a while, bro. And like they've been pretty quiet the entire year of 2023. Like I don't even know what the fuck they're doing, even. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah, I mean, I kind of I keep it right now. I follow Facebook enough that I can kind of keep an eye on what they're doing. But you want to know what they're doing? I'll tell you exactly what they're doing. Rehashing their psychopathic stuff non-stop. It's all they do. They tour with it. They sell merch.
If that don't tell you anything, then I don't.
Yeah, so sometimes I forget why I'm making a point, but now I remember. This is the thing. And all that to say, I was Twisted, Blaze, Anybody Killer, even Boondocks I fuck with, Axe Murder Boys I fuck with, all these dudes I fucked with, but what got me onto this was you talking about Violent J, his producing of Ouija's Gutter Water. It's like, now that all those dudes are gone, I thought that I was a big Twisted fan. Now I understand that I'm a big fan of Psychopathic's version of Twisted. Like, I think Violent J's executive producing skills, what he's doing to these artists is taking them to a place that I just can't fuck with without him. Like, Boondocks' stuff after he left Psychopathic, I don't want to listen to it. But his Psychopathic stuff is the shit. So it's like, who am I really a fan of? Am I a fan of Boondocks, or am I a fan of Violent J doing what he does to guys like Boondocks and Blaze and Anybody Killer? He invented all these fucking names and gimmicks. That's the shit that I like. Yeah. And so after Gutter Water, whenever Ouija was putting out his mixtapes and stuff, I thought that's what it was. Again, it's like, well, I guess I just like Gutter Water because of what Violent J did, but now Ouija is in a place where, I mean, for some, for you guys, I think he was always hitting, but for me, it's like now he's finally gotten to that place where it's like, I'm really fucking with it now. Were you guys fucking with all those mixtapes and shit?
It's dope that like every year at the gathering since he signed, you've seen Ouija merch, and you've seen it like a little bit of more people have it, then even more people have it. Like last year, I feel like it was everywhere, but it was not like that the year before and the year before. It's just like he grows every year. And bro, I think it's guys like Mitch that just come around and be like, you know what, I actually kind of fuck with this guy now. It took me a minute.
That would be to anyone, and I'm on Facebook a lot. And people talk shit about Ouija a lot. I mean, that's the internet for you. People talk shit a lot, period. But my advice to anyone listening that thinks that they don't like Ouija but haven't been listening for the last few years, listen to Dirtbag. That would be my advice. And if you still don't like him after that, then maybe you just don't like him at all.
And that album just hit its 2-year anniversary. It's still a fresh album.
Listen to Dirtbag. Listen to Staleman. I mean, still not without my criticisms. One thing that kind of annoys me still about listening to Ouija is like there's too many skits. There's like too much talking and stuff. And I don't need to hear about your fucking dick and balls and cum and eating ass every fucking song. Whatever though. For the most part.
Dirtbag.
Yeah. I mean that's.
Man. But I mean there were skits in ICP album. That's a weird.
Yeah, I know, but those are funny. Ouija's are just like, man, you're not ICP. But I mean that's whatever. Now that's like nitpicking shit. I really I fuck with this shit now. Yeah, he was very active in the community this whole time. Even if you go, I mean, I'm on record. You go to my defunct YouTube channel. You go to 2017 gathering. I think maybe 2018. The gathering that he did his seminar with Light. They did a seminar together. I came back from that shit and said on my podcast, like, this guy fucking gets it. This guy is plugged in. This guy
That's
is
why I
the
fucked
future.
with you back then, because you was like, you wasn't shitting on him. You was being honest. Like you said, it's not my type of shit.
And I called
But
it.
he gets
I've always said I wish I could like buy stock in people because like I feel like I get when I see someone and understand when they get it. Like I said the same shit about Keegan from Shaggy and the Creep and stuff. It's like this dude gets it, and even though that is now what it is now, it's like Keegan's doing his thing now and he's killing it. I don't know if you guys fuck with any of that shit, but I watched the Shaggy show.
I watched him on the Shaggy and the Creek back in the day. But that's about it.
Yeah, it was great. And it's not really the same without him, but
No, those old vlogs hold up. They're still funny as fuck today. It's just like I don't really follow him like I do, but I mean, if he's out here doing his thing, I respect Juggalos getting their
Get
shit.
your bag. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah,
Get your bag.
for sure, 100%. Mitch, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark, man, bro. You're taking us to the limit.
as Jake Jack always said, I see people doing skits and all their old shit. Yeah, I'm saying though, those were funny. So that's the difference. But anyway, what were you saying?
We're coming up on the 2-hour mark, man. I kind of want to wrap it up a bit. Can you tell me one thing you're looking forward to at the gathering?
Oh shit! You asked that question like 40 minutes ago. I didn't even answer.
It's fine, bro. It's chill.
I can answer distinctly. Besides ICP, of course, that's always going to be number one shit I want to see.
Of course.
Chris Calico, that's the shit. That's number one. I never seen his solo shit before. I mean, I've seen him with Tech a bunch of times, but looking forward to that most definitely.
I fuck with Chris.
Shout out Chris Calico.
Yeah.
Right. Man, I can talk about Juggalo.
Riff Raff.
Yes.
Also the shit. I'm looking forward to seeing him as well. And
more.
He's Riff Raff, like of all the shit that I really want to see this year, which is like Chris Calico, Whitney Payton, Ari the Rugged Man, Ritz, Mad Child, Yellow Wolf. Riff Raff's the only one that I really want to see that I haven't ever seen before. So that'll be a nice box to check.
The Tangerine Thuggalo will be pulling up for sure.
Cool. Well, I could talk about ICP shit all day. I mean, Raven Black hit on something that I feel very strongly about, which is like headlining main stage is such a better show than main stage at 6 p.m. No one wants to see that shit in the daytime. She's gonna fucking kill that shit on the second stage.
Right. I like that Free Will is late night on the side stage.
Yes.
I hate that Darby is side stage during the day. I hate that he's.
That's weird. And I did hear you guys talk about on one of the episodes I watched. Like you raised the question: do you think he's going to be on main stage next year? That's a definite. That's for sure.
For next year, for sure, I agree.
Yeah.
Next year, for sure.
Right.
Signed now.
Mitch, where can people find you online, bro? Where can people get at you?
Lately, I've just been fucking on Facebook under my just real name. So if you see Mitchell on Facebook, I mean, with the beard and shit, that's me. I've just been being myself.
Mitchell, we might not agree with a lot of the things you said tonight, but the fact that you came on the Thuggalo show and said what you feel, I respect that. And that's why you're a legend in the YouTube scene. And, bro, honestly, like, come back. Do a stream once every couple months, bro. Like
every couple months, I'll be here more than that if you'll let me. I want to be on the shit all the time. I did this last year. I guess it's become a tradition now because last year before the gathering, I did a stream with Beastmaster on Carnival Spirits, and we talked for like 3.5 hours just about
Beastmaster. He'll take you to the limit over there.
He'll be running marathons with
I'm right there with him. That was like all I wanted to do was talk about Juggalo shit, so I'm down.
Mitch, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. You're welcome back anytime, bro. One more question. Yeah. Would you consider yourself a Thuggalo?
Whoop, whoop. Fuck yeah, I'm Thuggalo in this bitch.
Gang.
Hey, gang. All right, Mitch, we're going to let you go, man. Thanks for pulling up. Whoop, whoop.
Right on.
Hell yeah, that was Murder Mayhem guy, a.k.a. Mitchell, pulling up. He had a lot of shit to say, bro. He was like, hey, I didn't fuck with Ouija Mac at first, but then I started fucking with him, and I can respect that. Because, I mean, bro, the fact that he pulled up on the Thuggalo show knowing this is Ouija Mac territory, we love Ouija Mac in this house type shit. Want to say thank you to Elixir, and thank you to Onstead. Thank you to Jay Herm for doing all the shit backstage, helping us out tonight. It's been a great Thuggalo show. This has been Chapter 39. Next week will be chapter 40. You feel me? Next week we're gonna do something special. I haven't seen Psychopathic put out an infomercial, and if they do during the week, then you can just call me a liar in a couple days.
And then we'll have to fix that fucking schedule.
What we're gonna do is do our own little infomercial. We're gonna sit just like this. We're not even gonna have a guest, but if people want to pull up and chat, it is what it is.
By all means.
We're going to pull up, we're going to read the timeline, and we're going to go through everything on that timeline. We're going to see what Elixir thinks about arm wrestling. I'm going to ask Onstead who he thinks is going to win Queen of Cheats. And I'll make my predictions on what I think we will be seeing with the Insane Clown Posse, Ouija Mac, and all the fucking...
Will the foam be edible? No.
That's a good question. And that's something that you can ask next week. So, next week, the Thuggalo, Gathering of the Thuggalos infomercial. Next week. So, pull up.
Chapter 40.
Chapter 40. Grab a 40. Chapter 40. It's the Thuggalo Show. We'll see y'all next week.
Hey, shout out Thuggalo Show in this bitch. Every fucking city. Thuggalo Show represent. Free Will in the bitch. Darby in the bitch. Shout out Thuggalo Show. Love you motherfuckers for real, bro.